Ready? The grappling news this week. I guess some little tidbits to talk about. I guess here's the weird one. Mr. Nakamura regained the NXT title in Japan. I wasn't even aware they were going to Japan until I literally saw a picture of him with the title in Osaka.
Well, they were plugging it on the last week or two of NXT TV that they're doing a show in Osaka. I think they're doing it to try and sell tickets mostly. Nakamura's challenging for the title. Come to the show. And they actually taped the match. The match will air in full on this week's NXT. That's what I understand is going to happen. So Nakamura, after, 2 or 3 weeks after the last takeover, Joe already lost the title again. And it seems like very transparent that they only did the title change in the first place so Nakamura could win it back here.
Yeah.
Which makes it all the more weird why they had Joe win so convincingly. Rather than have it be like a screw up or a
fluky win. Yeah.
So you wonder how long Nakamura will hold on to it now. Will they put it back on Joe real quick now that they're out of Japan, or will they?
Oh God! I mean, it's amazing to think that they're still going to be on that show going into the new year and into WrestleMania season.
That's twice this year now, by the way, that they've changed the NXT main title on a house show. Joe beat Balor originally in obviously on that famous show as well. And Nakamura now has won the NXT title in Japan. Which actually, from a consumer point of view, when we went to see NXT in Dublin, it was Balor challenging Joe. And I had a feeling watching that match that I would almost never have at a house show is I believed that Finn Balor could win the match. Because they've set a precedent of this can happen on a house show now. You know, and
now they did it twice.
It's Balor in Dublin. He could win. I didn't know, of course, at the time that 2 or 3 weeks later he's going to be brought up to Raw, but it certainly made it more exciting from our point of view.
Yeah. So it's all right. I feel like Joe and Nakamura is going to do this forever in NXT, swapping the title around. But that's a whole other topic. John Cena going to host Saturday Night Live very soon. It sure seems like after years of trying to make him an action movie star that he has found his calling in the weird little comedy niche he seems to have.
Yeah, it's funny as well that Cena for years has had this mindset of I'm not a part-timer, I'm here every week. Look, these guys go do stuff, but I do that stuff, but I'm also here. And now he's finally at the point where he's like, lads, I'm going away now for a while. See you. I'm going to do my own thing now.
Well, maybe, hopefully he realizes he was dumb. And
I think he's earned it, certainly, you know?
Yeah, because it's like all those part-timers, as The Rock himself said, he's like, I've done it. I did the full-time thing, and now I'm doing the part-time thing. And now I think Cena himself, based on how much time off he's taking, he's realizing, okay, I have also done it. He's done it harder than I think anyone else in history in terms of days on the road and the crazy shit he's done. You know, and I think now he's realizing, okay, now is the time where I should go do some other stuff, find some other ways to make money, and then just keep one foot on wrestling.
It's funny because this is entirely what that Rock Cena WrestleMania match was built around, was The Rock.
Yeah.
You say I'm not there? Yeah, I did it. I was there. You know, and that scene is almost filling the character of The Rock in that feud now. And maybe they could do that now with someone like, you know,
Kevin Owens or something.
Well, not necessarily Kevin Owens, but
sorry.
Well, it's Casinos on SmackDown. I was trying to think of a SmackDown wrestler.
Oh, it has to be SmackDown, Joe. Jesus.
James Ellsworth or one of the Usos.
I forgot they can't do interbrand matches.
Yeah, never.
Only at the 12 pay-per-views where it's Raw versus SmackDown collide, Joe.
Okay. The Super Show.
So yeah, that's that. We got the I don't know if debut is the right word. It might be, but it is a one-off for now. But who knows? World of Sport will air on New Year's Eve, which I think is an interesting time for it.
I would say a bad time for
ITV1, hosted by Ant and Deck, who are also the tag team champion.
Why?
It's not really, is it?
No, it's not. I'm making that up. It's funnily enough, it is Mr. Jim Ross, I believe, calling it.
He's an outside.
I saw people moaning about that. I was like, look, would you rather him or fucking Matt Stryker on there talking about World of Sport?
But I think the problem is that it's World of Sport is a brand which is like quintessentially English. So of course they have an Oklahoma boomer sooner on commentator. You know?
I would like an English commentator, but I don't know who there is exactly.
But it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you get some, English know nothing about it, then people are like, oh, he's not a wrestling guy. He doesn't know. If you get Jim Ross, you're like, oh, he's not English. I'm like you guys. I mean, I like Progress's commentary, but I don't know that I'd be putting them on ITV.
Well, I think from our point of view, of course, we love Jim Ross commentary. We think he'll do a really good job. But I'm speaking from the point of view of people who watched World of Sport back in the day and see on World of Sport is on. They turn on and it's not what they remember. It's American wrestling. It's not British wrestling.
Yeah, and that's because that is the demographic when you think about it. Because
all those people are dead.
No.
I'll tell you,
that was 30 years ago.
But not anyone else. The World of Sport as a brand doesn't mean anything to anyone who didn't watch it at the time.
Yeah,
largely, yeah.
But So, but I mean, and it's not going to be World of Sport anyway because it's like I can't remember who's on it, but it's all modern.
You mean Mick McMahon isn't going to be on it? And
no, Big Daddy's not
McMahon, Mick McManus.
McManus and Kenzo Nagamani and Big Daddy.
Oh my god, you sound like that kid excited about Nakarama.
Shinsuke Nakarama.
Shinsuke Nakarama. And Mick McManama, he's gonna be there.
And big old haystack face.
Yeah, so that's airing New Year's Eve. That'll be it. We'll try and watch that and review it.
They taped the wrestling for it already, I assume. Yeah,
they are actually going to have like segments with the older wrestlers from the old days, like interviews and that kind of thing.
Because I assumed what you're going to get is going to get some of the wrestlers, whether with their ring attire or whatever, is paying homage to the old. Like you have someone come out in a Big Daddy style singlet with a pillow shoved down the front or something.
Apparently, that the crowd are going to have like foam fingers and shit, like it's gladiators.
Ugh. Not sure about that.
Remember Gladiators?
So look forward to that.
And the wrestler's going to have to run up a big moving treadmill at the end.
I wish Gladiators was back.
Well, they brought it back and it was rubbish. So
they had Magnus on it.
Yeah, Magnus. He's the only guy who got over there.
Because they didn't use the old theme song. That was the best bit of it.
Yeah, that's true.
They had some weird...
Sticking with the British Isles, this is an interesting story. Some UK wrestlers, didn't know who or how many or when this was. Story just broke this week. They were basically offered contracts by WWE, right? That are like, you're not signed, right? You're not coming to NXT, but we're keeping an eye on you. So here's a low income, like a small retainer fee, and you keep doing your indie wrestling. But if we don't like you working somewhere, we're going to tell you stop doing that, and you need to stop doing that or you're out of your contract. So that got quite the reaction out of a lot of people when that broke this week. I think this is a very interesting story, and I think it's funny. So this story broke the day after MMA announced it's getting another trade union. Meanwhile, WWE is offering people these low money, we're not signing you, but we want to tell you what to do contracts. I thought this was quite unusual.
Yeah. I don't know much about it, to tell you the truth. But,
No?
I heard about the problem with Twitter nowadays, lads, is that everybody speaks very cryptically on it. So unless I am having the scoops fed to me directly, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, no, this was all out there. This story broke. It was out.
Okay. Because I spent a good 10 minutes looking for it one day and I couldn't find it out.
Well, I don't know where to direct you to, but it's out. It was I don't know if you still have a subscription, but it was in the Observer.
I was on Lords of Pain and they wouldn't tell me.
Oh dear, but your computer got infected.
Is that website still a thing, by the way?
I believe it is actually still a thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I ever used Lords of Pain.
Me neither. It was
my whole life. How does it even
look? But yeah, so that's straight up. That's the news there for this.
Oh my god, this website looks like it's straight out of 1997.
It is.
Have they reported the screw job yet?
Breaking
news.
tensions are building as the talent travels to Montreal.
This is my kind of website. This is like, 2000 era, AOL, yeah. See, I wish every website was like this, to be honest.
They have a GIF section.
I have to do a ChairShotPodcast.com redecoration, so it looks exactly like Lords of Pain's website.
Yeah.
Just text everywhere.
Do we want to start with the debut of 205 Live? Is that maybe an interesting place to start?
Yeah, let's start there.
I tell you what, right? I'm fucking sick of lads standing on the ramp like a bunch of school children.
To make this better for myself, as they all stood on the ramp, I pretended like it was a little Hall of Fame ceremony. So I was humming, ba, 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 and the next inductee, Cedric Alexander, and he comes out this little wave, like, Moon Jack Spunk to or whoever, and it was grand. But I get your point that it unless someone has died or something, it does make everyone look like a load of geeks. The only good thing about this was that there wasn't somebody in the ring speaking to them all, which is
it's worse when they do it on the main roster when it's like Triple H and Stephanie are saying something, and to give it more emphasis, they have the whole roster standing there like children listening. That's worse. It's just, this wasn't terrible or anything. I just didn't like it. I'm sick of it. Especially since elsewhere on the show, all the video packages were great. So they did a good job of introing people. I don't think you needed to have the fucking hear this roll call at the beginning. Like GUFF, Sierra. GUFF, anyone in? GUFF, is he sick? Okay, we'll put him down as absent then. If he comes in later, I'll take him down. TJ Perkins, yes, sir. That whole. So what was the first match? I guess we got a video package for
first match was the Bollywood Boys against Gulak and Nice.
Yeah, I hear Drew Gulak had a tremendous match with Mike Quackenbush on a free Chikara show. This weekend, and it's funny because people were just raving about this. This was the greatest thing ever. And it was Gulak at his best, technical wrestler, hard nosed, and it's just like, what, I like Drulak. I keep going to call him. That's his TNA name. Mad Cruz.
Drulax with 2 X's.
I like Gulak sometimes. I thought he had the Zack Sabre match was great, but just I feel like he needs to be kept out of tag matches like this and multi-person matches. Because he's just a regular lad with regular gear, and when you put him in a tag match, he might as well be part of the scenery. I feel like. Oh
no, I think he's quite good. I like Drew Gulak.
I like him, but I just think it's not his strength. I think he needs to be in slower one-on-one matches, like the Sabre match, where you can kind of pay attention to what he's doing, and it's him and his opponent are the 2 stars, and that's all that matters.
I think he needs to change his name because I keep calling him Drew Gulag, which is something completely different.
Yeah. Plus, he looks like someone, with his look and his gear. I feel like Vince McMahon would look at him and go, I'd never push this man in years.
He doesn't wear any knee pads. I never trust someone who doesn't wear knee pads.
Short, generic man who his attire is basically shiny boots, and that's it.
Is he balding? Is he not? I can't really tell. Don't push.
I say all this, but I do like him. It's not that I don't like him. And Tony Nese is grand. He's not the best. I can see what they're going for with the Bollywood Boys, but they to me come off like just an okay mid-level like indie tag team.
They're not very good. Is my main problem with them.
I don't think they're bad. It's just
they're completely generic and they dance.
Yeah. And again, I think it's kind of like the ho lug thing, where it's like,
he's dreadful. In fairness.
Yeah, well, he's way worse. But I think it's just India has a burgeoning market, and they cannot comprehend getting into a market without homegrown stars, which is fair enough. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, they're nothing remarkable. But the video package was okay. Talks about their dad, who I can't see, but he heard their entrance in the Cruiserweight class. I was like, okay, that's a nice touch. They're giving these guys some slightly more human stories, which we'll hear more about in just a bit. But they won the match anyway, and then Nice and Gulak had a very awkward interview after the fact, where I feel like they were improvising and not doing a great job.
I thought it was good, where he said the reason they lost was the ring was all lumpy and the ropes were loose. That's like that to me struck me as like a good old fashioned heel excuse.
Yeah. Was there video packages before? Oh, there was this video package for someone not in the next match. It was like a video package for, is it Grand Metalik?
There was one for Grand Metalik, yeah.
Yeah, okay. He wasn't on the show, but they just gave him a video anyway. Brian Kendrick and TJ Perkins had a not greatly acted segment, but it was. I feel like they're going back to that feud in the coming weeks based on the finish of the shows.
Perkins' delivery in particular is not very good.
Yeah, he's not great. Oh, I feel so bad for him. I feel like he was like one of the hottest wrestlers. Obviously not like he's going to main event Raw, but I felt like he had real momentum coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic, and he's just dead. Like he's just done already. But yeah, unfortunate. We got Jack Gallagher, or is it Gallagher or Gallagher?
Whichever.
Yeah.
So he faced Arya Daivari. It was a showcase for Jack. He did the time and knots thing. He did his usual routine. It's funny. I like it.
He won the crowd over quite quickly, I thought.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested in how he clicks if they ever try and push him in any kind of serious way. Like, I think he's extremely talented. I don't want him to get slotted as a comedy guy.
I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he would, is the problem.
I think it's a limit to it, yeah.
And then the main event was Rich Swann against Kendrick. They got a good, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, they played the video as well before this. Rich Swann's backstory, which is all true. It was great. It was really great. I mean, I don't know why. It's not like no one on the main roster has a story like this. It's not like you can't, go in this direction. But it was very human and very honest and very uplifting. He's overcome a lot. And then they had a really fantastic match, I thought.
I don't know if I go that far. I thought it was quite good. I don't know. It was very good. I wouldn't even have it on the level of some of the Cruiserweight Classic matches. I don't think it was quite that good. I think
I'd agree. I think that's
something about Kendrick.
Fair.
I think his style is not what the Cruiserweight need to be. Like he wrestles a very grounded, brawling style. Where if you're going to have Cruiserweights and separate them from everyone else, they need to wrestle differently. I think Kendrick sometimes his matches. I like him. He's a good wrestler, but he has tendency to kind of keep his matches quite deliberately paced, and he uses a lot of chin lock submissions and stuff. When I'm watching Cruiserweights, I want to watch an hour of what Cruiserweight Classic was with not necessarily just flippy doos, but that kind of high intensity match as well.
Yeah,
which this wasn't.
The weird thing about this match is, so the Cruiserweight Classic is in full sale, so you've all the diehards there who are getting invested as the show goes on, right? This was taped after Smackdown, and so they're telling Rich Swann's story, and they're trying to do big fight feel, and there is one, especially towards the end, credit to the wrestlers, they got credit to it, but it's like you're trying to do big fight feel at a WWF metal taping. You know what I mean? It's like...
I think this week's NXT was also taped before SmackDown, so this crowd has been there for almost 4 hours at this point. Yeah,
it's a very weird thing where no matter if this show turns out to be the best show of 2017, which maybe it will be, maybe it'll be great. I'm hoping it will. It's going to have to work hard to overcome that feeling, both live and on TV, that it's this little unimportant side project taped, tacked on to an existing taping. Like I said, there'd be good matches on those weird Saturday morning WWF shows, but that doesn't mean that they were important.
Well, that's what I think they're going to probably end up doing, is having the important Cruiserweight stuff happen on Raw and kind of the rest of it here. So you'll have... on the first one, of course, they have the title match, but I reckon in 4 or 5 weeks' time, the main event will be this week's main event is Daivari against Ho-Ho Loon. And you go, oh, what? Already? We're here? And the guys who are on Raw the night before won't be on 205 Live. It'll be everyone else. So what'll happen on 205 Live is it won't have really any relevance on Raw. It'll just be its own contained superstars or main event, but with cruiserweights. Which isn't too bad. The match will be very good. But oh well. It's almost like, what was the point of having the Cruiserweights exclusive to Raw if you're then immediately going to have a Cruiserweight show? because it kind of muddles up the message there for me. But yeah, the episode was decent. It was quite good. Probably
So
it was better than NXT. Not as good as Smackdown or Lucha Underground, I would say, this week for me.
yeah, I thought Smackdown was really cracking this week. I guess we can talk about that next. I mean, what were the big talking points? There was a segment with Nikki Bella and Carmella.
Yeah.
Where Carmella said she's going to smack the titties off of Nikki Bella.
She said she's going to knock her Bella twins about till they're coming out of her back or whatever. She's like, I'm going to punch you on the boob, Nikki Bella.
In some ways, this storyline is like a throwback to the Russo days. It's all about who's fucking who and who's a fake-titted bitch. But for some reason, I feel like maybe it's because they don't do that stuff every single week now. It feels a little less annoying, if you know what I mean. Like I like this feud because it's
well,
like,
the problem was years ago in TNA, everyone was a bitch and everyone was a skank.
yeah, and you're like, oh, this is bad. Like this is just what women are on this show.
Here you have two women who hate each other so much they resort to these kind of comments. Is what I
like on SmackDown, it's like, well, that's not what women are like. They're like Becky Lynch and stuff. But Carmella is just really classless and tacky, and she just attacks Nikki Bella for all these things. So it feels a little less depressing because in previous years in WWE and also TNA, as I mentioned, it's like, oh, that's just what they think of women, So yeah, I think this feud has been really good, and I'm curious. I won't say excited. I'm curious about their match tonight.
Nikki Bella potatoed her all up. Did you see her face after it?
Yeah, Jesus Christ! I saw she knocked the shit out of her. Poor Carmella, she's coming out with a bruiser tonight, or a shiner rather. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. There was also the women's contract signing for the title match at TLC.
Yeah, did you like how they subtly set up that it was going to be a tables match? By having a real awkward table spot happen.
Yeah, also, they signed the contract before it was made a table match, so they're going to have to do another contract signing on the pre-show.
Oh. Organization, lads.
For fuck's sake. But yeah, I thought segment was good. I feel like some of Becky's comedy.
That was actually, now that you mention it, that was actually quite sloppy writing, wasn't it? That they signed the contract, and then Daniel Bryan in the segment afterwards goes, "Oh, she challenged you to a tables match." Daniel Bryan should have said, "It's a good idea, but we already did the contracts. That more paperwork. Don't want to do that. So let's not do a tables match this time. How about that?" But the segment itself was very good, as you say.
Yeah, and also it was weird that Becky threw the first punch, and which is just a weird thing if you want to nitpick about her being a face. But Alexa's really great at being annoying.
I like that opened SmackDown as well. That was nice. It opened up with
that was a nice touch.
Title. Yeah, that was good.
Then Becky called her a bitch later.
Natty did not like Becky's shirt she was wearing.
I liked it. I actually specifically remember saying I liked it. What didn't she like about it?
She doesn't like those shirts because it's not quite a shirt, not quite a dress. She doesn't like how it looked.
Damn, Becky slammed.
Was Alexa wearing? I don't remember what she was wearing. She wearing good.
She was wearing like black jeans and a black jacket.
Remember about Becky's clothes. So she's giving Alexa the thumbs up here. So there you go. Also, Becky called her Lexi. Was that a slip of the tongue? Because didn't we find out the other week that was her real name?
Well, but that's believably a nickname of Alexa, because it may have been a scripted line.
But they've never been on screen buddies.
No, but it's not hard to conceive that she would say that. I don't think.
Sorry, Binky.
It may have been scripted because Alexa corrected her and was like, "Don't call me that," But that could have been improv. Seemed like Carmella was pretty good at improving when she said, "How am I doing? I'll be better when I can get out of here." That was
one thing about Becky I have to say is I feel like Becky, when she's trying to get a line over, sometimes feels like she's trying too hard. Like she takes an extra second to think about it, and sometimes her delivery is a little bit forced. But as far as being a no pun intended, fiery babyface, I don't think there's many better than she is. Also, her accent is so strong. I can't imagine what it must be like for like an American listening to her.
So yeah, that was that. I suppose the other big thing on the show was the Ellsworth stuff, I guess.
He got murdered. They killed him.
Yeah. Styles clash off the stairs.
Well, first of all,
his head.
the chair shot to the back. I was like, oh, he's dead. Because Ellsworth was like laying out of the ring with his feet on the bottom rope and the rest of his body out of the ring on the floor. And AJ hit him in the back with a chair and he just flattened him. He turned him to dust with a chair shot. And then gave him the Styles Clash off the steps. Which, let's not forget, by the way, the Styles Clash was the move that he nearly killed him with in the ring the other week.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
When he tucked his head. Whose idea was to give him one off the stairs to the outside?
Well, you know what? I'm thinking maybe that's not a mistake you make twice.
That if it was me, that's not a mistake I give myself the opportunity to make twice. Can he not do, just a power bomb or something? Maybe don't do that move that, first of all, AJ has hurt people with before, and number two, that he's almost hurt this guy with before. So obviously, this guy, okay, they did a fight this time, but I was a little bit uneasy about that whole thing. But it was a really effective segment. He really put a number on him.
And yeah, and then him and Ambrose had a brawl at the end of the show. I thought it was pretty good. It was a good, convincing brawl.
I was wondering why they're having that weird backstage segment where it's like Rhino and Heath Slater after Orton and Wyatt beat American Alpha, so they're now challenging for the titles tonight.
That match was great, by the way.
Really good main event. But then it went backstage to like AJ Styles came in for no reason. It was kind of big leaguing the champions. Then Ambrose attacked him and they fought over furniture and stuff. It's a nice little ending.
I think maybe they're going to do a TV program, like not a pay-per-view match or anything, but I think they'll probably do a few Rhino AJ matches.
It's funny as well because I was thinking watching the Ellsworth segment. I wonder if I was watching this on like Sky Sports or Sky One Saturday morning, how much of that would have been censored? Almost all of it, I would say.
The brawl?
No, the AJ Styles attack on James Ellsworth, the chair shot and the Styles Clash.
Oh, yeah, they probably wouldn't have even allowed the Styles Clash, I don't think.
I don't think so. I think it would have been off to the crowd for a second.
I feel
Is
like
that a thing they do in America, by the way, on kids' versions, like on the Saturday morning Raw AM?
I think they do, actually. I think I saw someone say they do.
Because when was it when they went from crowd reaction shots to like freeze frame for a while? Remember, they would, like someone would be about to get with a chair and the sound would continue, but the frame would stop for like 2 seconds.
I think that was for replays and backstage segments. Basically anything other than live in-ring stuff.
Well, sometimes when I was watching in the morning, they'd do that instead of crowd shots. I don't know. If anybody knows, let us know.
But yeah. So yeah, the brawl was decent. But yeah, I think SmackDown was a good show. I think it was also a good TLC build show, I thought.
Yeah, it was good. Like you say, SmackDown is always an easy watch. Always good.
Do you have Lucha Underground thoughts?
Well, I'm still a few weeks behind, obviously, on Lucha Underground. We just watched the Aztec Warfare match. It was really good. Obviously, the one where Sexy Star won the title. Really great match. Very, very fun. If the Royal Rumble is anywhere near as fun, we'll be in for a good one. NXT, completely missable. I don't think they started.
It's like a rough few weeks for NXT, it seems.
Well, it's always around the time of a takeover. Like the week before is a nothing show, and the week after is a nothing show. But this is the second week after, and it's clearly they hadn't started taping their new run of shows yet. So this was taped before SmackDown. So it was one of those shows that was just like 1 week storyline, like you used to have back on SmackDown, where it'd be like Val Venus against Steve Austin tonight. It was that kind of thing where you have these Samoa Joe against Ty Dillinger for some reason. They had a weird backstage segment, then they fought in the main event. A nothing show. So completely missable. Next week is when NXT will kind of get going again. So, but like I say, NXT used to be my favorite show of the week, but now it's like SmackDown I prefer. And even for the last while, Lucha Underground's been better. So SmackDown has kind of fallen down the pecking order a little bit. 205 Live also was better this week. So in fact, it was the worst show of the week. But usually
Unlucky.
I enjoy NXT. This was just a filler week. So.
Yeah. So 2 weeks, Paul, till we see the grappling in person.
Of course.
Yeah.
Looking
I was
forward to it.
talking to my friend Sean, who's coming over for his first show from the UK. He's not coming over for it, but he's coming over to hang out with me, and we'll go into it. And I was like, he saw me tweeting about the queuing to get in. And he's like, well, how fucking long do we have to queue? I was like, well, you know what? It's like you can choose between sitting together, our whole group, or being warm. Because basically, if you have a big ass group and you want to sit together, you need to get there about 2 hours before doors. Especially for a big sellout show with Osprey, it's going to be crazy.
So how does it work, by the way? Let me just ask you this: when you're getting into the venue, you ride. Obviously, we were queuing with you for a little while. One of the last times you were gone, so you stand in the queue with your little bit of paper, and when you go in, is it like a mad dash to the chairs, or what's the?
It's not a mad dash. First of all, everyone at OTD is super civil, fan wise. Everyone's cool. I've never had a bad encounter with anyone. Everyone's chill. So if you and Natty get to a row you want to sit at, and there's people like sitting, there's no 2 chairs together, but there's plenty of chairs on the row. I would never think twice about asking someone, hey, do you mind scooting over 1 chair so I can sit? This is like, so that's fine. First of all, it's not a mad dash. So typically you queue up. They used to have 2 queues for VIPs like me and you with our seats. General admission. Now they just have 1 queue. So you get there, and basically, as it approaches doors, usually about a half hour before doors actually open, the announcers will say, VIP people, come here. It's at that point you and I walk to the front of the queue, and they start letting you in. They scan your tickets. They search your bags, FYI. So you can bring pretty much anything in other than booze. They're just searching you for cans and naggins and stuff. You can bring tablets and various other devices in with you. That's fine. So basically, you get you scan your... Yeah, not yokes. But so they scan your ticket to go in. You can bring a digital ticket on a mobile, or you can print it off. And then basically you can walk straight forward, or you can turn immediately to the right to do the meet and greet. If you're like old Barry in March and the meet and greets with Ken Anderson, you're going straight to get your good seat. But since this is Ricochet, and I think you and I will want to get our little photo op, you go in, you'll get your poster, you'll do your photo op, and you'll go back out. And then at that point, you go find your seat. And it's not a bad dash, honestly. It's fine. Word of advice: whatever your preferred method of ticketing is, whether it's on your phone or a piece of paper, keep it with you, because you use it to get into the building, but they then have someone checking tickets as you get into the seated area.
Okay.
So sometimes they'll check it every single time. Other times they might remember your face. So just make sure you guys have your tickets throughout the night.
We will.
Yeah, and then it is first come, first serve, but it's not a bad dash. People aren't assholes. Yeah.
Okay.
So and it's usually easy to get 2 seats next to each other for you and your +1. But as I said to the lads, it's like, OHT fans are crazy. There'll be people queuing there super early. It's super inconceivable that say I'm going with a group of about 6 or 7. I was like, we'll probably be in the same section. You might be a few chairs away from each other, or maybe the row behind. You'll never sit together as an entire group. There's just too many people, and there's too many freaks who'll be there super early to get the good seats. So yeah. Okay. Good thing though is even if you run super late and you're not there to get good seats, pretty much all the floor seats are good. There are no bad floor seats. So if worse comes to worse and you're running late, don't worry. They're all great seats. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You can see the old Ricochet Osprey. We're going to see Fabian Eichner's coming back, so you'll get to see him. Marty Skrull, Pete Dunne, all this other stuff. Yeah, so that's 2 weeks from now. Do we want to do a TLC preview, or I feel like we maybe?
Yeah, we have to do our TLC preview quick.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I have the card here if you want to run through it.
Okay, go for it.
So first tag team match: Heath Slater and Rhino against the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Seems like what they're going towards, by the way, having watched SmackDown, is that Orton is actually going to turn on Wyatt. He's actually it looks like he's trying to turn Harper against Wyatt, like divide and conquer. That's what I got from watching. He was
yeah. I can see
that. So we'll see how that goes. Should be a good match. I'm not sure about Slater and Rhino still as champions. But there you go.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, but it should be alright.
You have Kalisto against Baron Corbin in a chairs match.
Don't give a shite, baby. Chairs matches are rubbish.
Except that one time where Big Show had a giant chair and he waffled Sheamus with it or something, didn't he?
Yeah,
that giant No Mercy style chair. You have Nikki Bella against Carmella in a punch your boobs off match, aka no disqualification.
Yeah, if they can get some shortcuts and stuff, Carmella's a bit limited, but maybe this could be great. Like, for all we know, they might do some crazy shit.
They might have a Mariposa Sexy Star style.
You never know.
Is it a gimmick match?
It's a no DQ match.
No DQ.
Oh, sorry, no DQ. Okay.
And I feel like I was like, thank God, because I feel like Becky and Alexa are good enough that they'll make a table match work. I feel like if you were to put Carmella and Nikki in a tables match or a chairs match, God forbid, they'd have nothing. It's like those weird gimmick matches, like a table match. It's like they're kind of limiting. So if you're really talented, you can get creative with it. But if you're limited, like Carmella is, like I feel like it would have been a disaster. So no DQ, they can just do whatever the fuck they want, use whatever shortcuts they want, and maybe it'll be great.
You have, for the last time ever, wink wink,
Oh,
the
God.
Miz against Dolph Ziggler. I feel like the career on the line match should have been the last match. They should have gone their separate ways after that.
It's just so hilarious that Dolph Ziggler won the title in a match with his career, and then he just lost it immediately again. He's a career geek. I mean, honestly.
His character is he can only win when something big is on the line. When he's not fighting for his life, he won't win.
Yeah. So should be a great match, though.
Should be good. That's a ladder match, by the way.
Yeah. So that's they got the long straw. You know, the ladder match is the one where it has the highest threshold of being great. So good luck to them.
You have tables match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch against Alexa Bliss. It seems like the consensus is that Bliss is going to win here.
Because she's too small to actually break a table.
Unless Becky Lynch brings out this like very, very thin table. Being Becky Lynch, she might bring out a table of communion bread or something. Something so wafer thin that even Alexa Bliss could go through it.
Yeah, maybe, or like a Mattel action figure table,
where it's like broken in real clean triangles. And then
keep in mind, we just had a pay-per-view with a women main event that was completely derailed because a woman couldn't go through a table at the finish because she was so skinny.
Yeah,
that's
a bad omen.
I mean, first thing you want to do to ensure someone goes through a table, and of course, as we've seen on Botchamania, you can never be too sure. But I would say step number one, don't have your finish be a table set up in one of the corners.
Yes, exactly. Why do people keep going? Like, that should be so obvious at this stage that that's not reliable.
You have the table set up in one of the corners, two people on the top rope, and push one of them off onto the table, and then hope they go through. That's your best case scenario, which is what they did on SmackDown, by the way. And then main event is TLC match for the WWE World Title, AJ Styles against Dean Ambrose. So that should be
good. I hope there's no Ellsworth shenanigans.
I might be missing something here, but there's no pre-show match on my rundown here.
I don't know if there is.
Promoting
they might think it had. Look, they could do Luke Harper and Kane again.
Oh God.
I don't want them to, but they could. If they like, I haven't heard of one, but they could.
There's only 6 matches promoted here on WWE.com's own website. So
the ladder match and the TLC, you have to imagine, are both going wrong. The no DQ match could probably go long if they wanted to.
Can I just say as well how refreshing it is that neither of the ladder matches here has 9 people in it.
Yes, yeah.
Thank God.
I saw that Money in the Bank this year is Raw exclusive. It's like, good luck trying to find 6 credible challengers to that fucking belt.
So that's TLC.
I think it looks like a great show on paper.
Well, as we see with SmackDown, doesn't matter. Even if on paper it looks shite, it'll probably be a good show. Probably be a good show.